I light ones. Where we at? Where we at? What time is it? It's time to face your shit and love yourself, man. It's been that time for a while, people. But yeah, I thought I'd write a song. Face your shit and love yourself. You gotta face your shit and love yourself. I think that's the order of the I'm gonna say day, but it's the order of life right now. And the radical authenticity that we are destined to reach. The being our truest self possible. I started putting out these videos a year ago just for that, to have a platform to be me, where I didn't care what anyone thought, and it was the truest me coming out. And it might have been a bit weird, and it might have been, you know, people didn't understand, and that's okay, because it doesn't matter. It's like, it's okay for others to have differences of opinion, you know? But we still find ourselves stuck in this war of needing to be right. and that is what we're facing at the moment. We've just come, we're coming through Scorpio, we've come through 11/11, and we've just had a Taurus full moon. And what we faced in the last 2 weeks is this being revealed, our shadows, our old patterns, the things that are blocking us from loving ourselves, the things that are blocking us from being us, radically us. And this is how we bring the light to the planet. Bringing the light, this is how we heal the planet, is by being in our true self. And in the last few weeks, we have faced collectively and individually, as I always say, it's always micro, macro story of facing these shadows and identifying these old patterns of behavior, whether it be within relationships or diet or addiction or anything, the patterns, the old patterns we see that we're like, oh God, here we go again. And essentially the war between our hearts and heads is the war that's going on out in the collective. And this is one of the biggest cycles and patterns which we're cutting the cords of now. And the way we cut the cords of this is to go inner and being in our truth. Because nobody wants war. No one wants war. And as we go through this ascension from 3D to 5D reality, we are being radically authentic and being in our truth, in our vulnerability, which is our true power. Getting our power back, being in our truth and making a stand for things we won't abide by anymore, within ourselves and around us. But what we tend to do is just get frustrated and angry. And that is totally normal. But what we then tend to do is project our anger onto another and continue this cycle of complaining and blaming about something outside of us that is making us feel a certain way. So this big cycle of complaining and blaming, what are we doing with our mouths? What is coming out? Is it complaining still? Is it blaming an outside situation for our inner state, our inner environment? And if it is, you will just keep getting brought more things to complain about, more things to blame. And so it's being in our truth and breaking this pattern, because it's like a dog chasing its tail. The difference is the dog's having loads of fun. And as we can step into, you know, what we're trying to do, we're trying to find love. We're trying to find that love that we give and receive. Essentially, this is the ultimate 5-dimensional reality. Unity, consciousness, and love. And we're all learning about what love is. And because we've only just hit the surface about how to love ourselves truly without judgment, we are only scratching the surface of what the full spectrum of love really is. We don't have a clue. We're lost. Meaning we're lost in ourselves and where to go. But the biggest guide, your biggest guide is your body. Because this essentially is what is ascending. Your nervous system is ascending. Your DNA is going from crystalline to, going from carbon DNA to crystalline DNA. And so the way through that, this is why we feel so uncomfortable in our bodies. You know, our minds are all up there and are reaching these heights of expansion, yet our bodies are being left down here because it's the body show. It will bring you down to reality. This is Taurus, actually. This is the physical, the senses, and what we can achieve with these sights, smell, taste, touch, hear, with these senses, and then into the heart where we start to feel our connection to our Mother Gaia. Thanks, Valentine. So what we're doing is stepping into our radical authenticity, which brings with it this clarity, and what this clarity brings is a transparency. So it's a transparency in our lives. I mean, we can look at our lives and see there's lots of stuff we don't tell anybody for fear of rejection, for fear of judgment, for fear of not being liked, for fear of getting it wrong. We don't have to get it right anymore, people. There's no more getting it right. And it'll never be done. Abraham Hicks line. So with this transparency brings more of the cosmic light from the galactic center. But if you're ready for this conversation, anyway, I'm going to go on. But this is what's happening. These light codes, the light frequencies that are coming down to adjust our DNA to move up from carbon to crystalline. And this is not going to happen even in my lifetime or our lifetime. It's taking a while, but we are the seeds. We are the first ones. We are on uncharted territory now as human beings. And what we need to do is nurture the body and go easy on ourselves. You know, go easy on the body and where it wants to go, and start listening to this body. Because when you listen to the body, you listen to Gaia. If you're flowing with what your intuition is telling you, you're in the flow of her. Not the paint cans, not the paint cans. You're in the flow of Gaia, and when you can be in the flow of Gaia, your body adjusts. We're going through many things, whether we know it or not. We're getting these solar pulses and portals opening up. These light frequencies are coming into this planet rapidly now, and whether we're aware of it or not, it's still happening in the body. So becoming aware of these things, and it all coincides with what the planets are doing and everything. So if we can be more aware, the journey it's just a little easier. As I say, I mean, the first steps of all this is meditating and thought management and keeping an eye on what we're doing with this. Are we complaining and blaming an outer situational person for how we feel? If we're still doing that, we're in very old paradigm. Must change. Must change. Anyway, you lovely, lovely, lovely light beings. I was going to say namaste, but no, it's namastakes. There's no mistakes here. Namastakes, namastakes, namastakes. Love yous.